How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. Ordinals fees spike as Bored Ape Yacht Club clones bloom on Bitcoin. Daily transaction fees for minting Bitcoin Ordinals inscriptions reached a new all-time high on Thursday of 9.28 BTC, or about $257,460. The surge is largely attributed to Bitcoin Apes, a variation of the popular Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection that is being reproduced on the Bitcoin network. Since the launch of the Ordinals project in January 2023, over $3.3 million in fees have been paid to the images, text, and even video games on the original blockchain. Bitcoin Apes follows the same logic as Bitcoin Punks, where the first byte-perfect image of a Bored Ape that is inscribed is the real one. 8,397 Bitcoin Apes have already been inscribed, and once they have minted out, over 1 million will have been spent inscribing the 10,000 exact copies of the Bored Ape Yacht Club images onto the Bitcoin. Of the 466 gigs of data that makes up the Bitcoin blockchain, over 1 gig is now monkey images. So, every extra transaction fee that is being paid to inscribe these apes is helping to secure the Bitcoin network and giving miners an additional revenue source to supplement the block rewards. So this is something that they believe that projects like this may be the solution to long-standing question of what will happen after the pre-programmed Bitcoin block rewards eventually go to zero in 2140. I think that stuff like this can help give miners the incentive to keep the network going. Some Bored Ape Yacht Club owners are concerned that copies of their NFTs are being created and traded on the Bitcoin blockchain. However, Leonidas believes such concerns are unwarranted. Blockchain solved the problem of provenance for digital art, so there is no debate of whether the official Bored Ape Yacht Club holders are the holders of the original and Bored Apes. Anybody can verify that ownership on chain. This is just another derivative project of the iconic PFP collection that, in my opinion, just spreads the culture of the original PFP collection to even more people, which ends up driving the value back down to the official holders. So that's about all there is for those ordinals. Fed Chair Powell says rate cut not in our base case. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell indicated during a news conference Wednesday that the Fed will not cut interest rates this year. His statement followed a Federal Open Market Committee or FOMC meeting where the Fed officials decided to increase interest rates by 25 basis points. Inflation remains too high and the labor market continues to be very tight, he emphasized. That he and his colleagues are committed to bring inflation down to 2%. Financial conditions seem to have tightened and probably by more than the traditional indexes say. Powell noted that there are other measures that show some more tightening if they are focused on bank lending conditions and things like that. We will be looking into how serious this is and does it look like it's going to be sustained. If it is, it could easily have a significant microeconomic effect and we could factor that into our policy. Overall, he insisted our banking system is sound and resilient and strong capital and liquidity. Of course, the banks are safe, but crypto's a scam. Top crypto exchange Binance said it completed temporary system maintenance and resumed all trading activity. Earlier on Friday, the exchange said it suspended all spot trading on the platform on a temporary basis. It was reported that the estimated recovery time for fixing the issue was between half an hour and about 2 hours. CEO CZ confirmed the news saying that all funds are safe. Addressing concerns of traders over the spot trading halt, the exchange said initially that the issue occurred as a matching engine saw an error in the trailing stop order. In the latest, the team said that it had completed the system maintenance, so there was just an error in the way the trailing stop orders were being executed, so they fixed the error, and now their platform and trading is ironed out. So it was just a minor bug fix, nothing major. Onto the charts. So we tried to retest this triangle, and we've been falling back away from it, kind of like I've suggested, as we have that lower gap. So this is looking like we could see the more positive of the two scenarios play out that we covered. Stochastic is falling but it wants to curl. RSI is curling down pretty significantly. Money flow is starting to come out. Momentum's about to break bearish. And our VWAP is pointing down very sharply. So overall we're pretty bearish on the 4 hour here. Over on the daily, you can see we fell out of this triangle pretty aggressively today. Stochastic's starting to spread apart a little more, and our RSI is starting to fall. Money flow is starting to fall as well. We could break this neutral zone. Our momentum's kind of flat, and our VWAP's kind of bearish, but hard to see. If you zoom in, you'll see it a little better. If we take a look over on the 2 hour, you can see we did fall away from this value area high like I suggested we could. So it's likely, and we did break our point of control and tried to retest and go above it, and we failed. So since we failed to get above the point of control, it is likely we go to the value area low from here. That's why I have this little thing, and we could get a little bit of a 9% move. That'd be the first move toward our 20k. Stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, momentum's falling sharp, and our VWAP is pretty bearish. Money flow is about to break bearish. So look over the next few candles, and if we're still falling, then we may be in bearish territory for this money flow. Over on the 1 hour, we've been bearish for a little while. We tried to break bullish, but we got rejected. Same with VWAP. Our momentum is falling pretty aggressively. Stochastic and RSI are falling aggressively. So the 1 hour and 2 hour aren't looking too good. So it's likely we could fall away from here. If we take a quick look over on the futures, we would have to lose this zone in order to fall back down. But if we look, about 24k on the futures, it's a good support and resistance area that we would fall into. So that's kind of coincides with that area that I targeted on Bitcoin. Over on the graph, we've broken our support again. Still inside this triangle, trading kind of pretty well in it. Stochastic's falling, RSI is falling, momentum's falling, money flow's coming out. Our VWAP is heading down, so overall the daily looks pretty bearish. Over on the 4 hour, we have a red X that printed, so we could see some more downside from here, and that could drag us lower. However, it could also have played out as we've drugged down a little bit from it. Money flow did break bearish though, so overall the trend has become bearish. If we get a VWAP curl and the momentum curl to bring us up and our money flow recovers, that'd be positive, but I'd watch for bullish retest. If we fail a bullish retest, then we'll be in bearish territory for sure. Stochastic's heading down and RSI is heading down as well, so overall we're pretty bearish on the 4 hour. Over on the 2 hour, we're trying to print a double green dot, but our money flows well into the red. Stochastic's trying to run up, but our RSI is falling. Stochastic's slightly in the bullish zone, but if we curl from here, we could fall out of that bullish zone and continue this downslide. Over on the 1 hour, our Stochastic's starting to curl, RSI is kind of flat right now. Money flow tried to come up and rejected just like Bitcoin. VWAP's about to reject, and our momentum looks like we're about to curl over and fall. Over on Anchor, we have a red X on the daily. We got rejected by that point of control. On our larger profile, we've rejected everything on this short-term profile. So it's likely we could come to the value area low from here. So Stochastic's starting to fall, RSI is starting to fall, momentum's crashing, and our money flow is breaking bearish. VWAP looks like we could curl and roll over from here. So overall, the daily is looking pretty bearish here as well. Over on the 4 hour, we have a red X that printed, or is printing rather, so watch for that to confirm. Money flows in the red, we rejected a retest. Momentum's about to curl, we got a red dot, Stochastic's falling, RSI is falling, and our VWAP's falling. So overall, the 4 hours looking pretty bearish. We have everything starting to break. That seems to be the trend for tonight. Money flow is breaking, VWAP looks like it wants to come up on the 2 hour. Stochastic looks like we could attempt a cross here. Our RSI is attempting to just sputter flat. Momentum looks like we could curl, same with that VWAP. So there is a potential, since we are under the value area low for this micro area, that we could snap back above it, but just be cautionary because everything else is looking pretty bearish. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's starting to fall. RSI is going flat, so that's not looking the best for the 2 hour to recover. Money flow is bullish, but on the higher time frames it's bearish. VWAP looks like it wants to break bullish. Our momentum looks like we could curl up, but I'm not too positive that we'll get that unless Bitcoin starts gaining here. Over on XRP, we're taking a little bit of a cool down here, kind of making a descending triangle. So we could fall. Stochastic's starting to fall, RSI is starting to fall, momentum. VWAP, our money flow is coming out, so overall the daily is really bearish looking here as well. Over on the 4 hour, our money flow is pretty flat. RSI is coming down, stochastic's coming down. We could make a bullish cross, but it's pretty flat. Momentum looks like it wanted to roll up, but it looks like we could start to flatten out and head further down. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is coming out, but our stochastic's trying to come back up. Money flow is trying to come back up. VWAP is trying to come back up, but it's very weak, so I'd watch this very closely. Momentum's trying to make a curl, so we do have signs that we could make a push from here. XRP has pretty much been doing its own thing, so I wouldn't rely too much on Bitcoin's move to see where XRP is going. It's kind of been its own thing, but it could fall back into the market relatively soon. Our momentum's overall coming up. Stochastic and our VWAP and money flow are trying to break bullish. Stochastic's going kind of flat, and same with our RSI. So the 1 hour looks indecisive, slightly bullish at best. So last but not least, over on algo, we are falling. We have a manipulation X that could print. Our money flow did break bearish. Momentum's getting a red X. VWAP's breaking down. Stochastic's making a bearish break. And our RSI is heading down. So again, pretty bearish looking. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic's starting to curl. RSI is starting to fall. So if that stochastic curls, it may save this RSI. But we'll have to see how the lower time frames look. Momentum looks like we could try to curl. VWAP trying to curl. Money flow could break bearish though, so that would be very cautionary. Money flow is bearish on the 2 hour. VWAP's trying to break bullish. Our stochastic's trying to run up, and we're trying to get a green dot on momentum. So we're trying to save. So look for a retest and then possibly a rejection. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's running up, our RSI is pretty flat, and our money flow is well into the bearish territory. VWAP's trying to head up, but with this money flow coming out like this, it's likely we'll start to fall from here. Momentum's trying to curl up, but looks like it could curl away too. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.